What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Paul, bringing you the latest on the Big Brother Canada 6 premiere, which just aired about 2 hours ago. And wow, like a lot of stuff happened for that first episode. A lot of huge twists came out. We got to see a pretty interesting looking have-not room. We had this whole heaven and hell concept, which I thought was pretty cool. Honestly. And then we had like a twist, which I wasn't too keen about, but we'll get to it all. Okay, so first off, I didn't do a cast analysis, so mostly because Chris and Dave were not around to do it with me. As you can see, I'm also by myself doing this for the premiere episode. So let's just break it down. So they were introducing all of the house guests, or at least the 14 that were coming in first. We'll get to the 4 that we have to vote on at the end. So the first person is Erica. She said she's a server at a restaurant. She's like a traveler, likes to go on like adventures, and she says that she can basically doll herself up or be laid back. So she has like that good middle ground that she can be. Like, she can act one way or act another way, basically depending on who she's with. I thought that was rather interesting. Next is Will. He says he does a lot of manual labor. He was a father at 19. Says he's coming in and going to be a little flirty. It's like, okay, cool. Oh, by the way, guys, if any of you are watching live, or just see a few of you are, be sure to talk to us talk to me in the chat and let me know if you have any questions, or if you have ideas on who you think is going to go first, or maybe who you think is going to win based on the first episode and the people that they've shown so far. Okay. We have Kayla. She's competitive, has like a do whatever it takes attitude to win, which I thought was rather nice to see. We have Hamza. He's a soccer coach. He's very confident. He's very willing to lie. Like with this whole heaven-hell concept, I see Hamza really being on the hell side, which should be interesting. Again, let me know down below what you guys think about all these people. Then we have Alejandra. She's a personal trainer, Latina. She said she's willing to use her assets. I guess that basically just means she's willing to flirt with guys to get ahead, which, usually works. So that's good. Then we have our next 5. Rosina. She's a religious educator. She's the oldest person in the house right now. She's just from what I saw from her introduction, she seemed happy-go-lucky, and as we saw throughout the episode, she talks a lot. So that could either get her in trouble or make her a lot of friends. When it came to the heaven or hell situation later, it obviously got her in trouble. But we'll get to that breakdown. She's a storyteller, and she's also Pakistani. Andrew Miller. He's a not-for-profit founder. Not sure what not-for-profit that is, but whatever it is, I'm sure it's interesting. He's a very authentic guy. Basically, what you see is what you get. I think he seems very honest, and he's representing Jamaica. Okay, we have Johnny. He is a house husband. He basically wants to start letting the demons out during this game, which I'm sure casting was like, oh, letting the demons out. That's perfect. That's heaven and hell season that we just came up with. So I'm sure they were happy about that. He says that he basically excelled at everything in his life and then just decided that he wanted to just cool it and just be a stay-at-home dad. Okay, that's cool. We have... Oh, right. And Johnny also doesn't like alpha guys. So we'll see where that goes. Speaking of alpha guys, we have Jesse, sales executive. He deals with a lot of big egos. And because he deals with a lot of big egos, he knows how to handle them. So knows how to talk to them properly. Basically, he's an alpha guy. And we have Olivia. She's a beauty consultant. She calls herself high maintenance, controlling, not good at math, and willing to call people out. So she seems like that feisty girl that's really gonna come at you right to your face. Basically, the one that doesn't have a filter. So that should be fun to watch on the feeds. Next, we have, which I know is one of the fan favorites, Maddie. She's a bartender. She basically described herself as passionate and vengeful. So if anyone comes after her, she's willing to like come back for revenge. Speaking of that, when she does get sent to hell later in this episode by Andrew, so I'm sure she's probably going to want retribution for that. So that's going to be fun to see in the upcoming episodes. Okay, next house guest is Derek. He runs a clothing brand, and he's a small town boy in the city. He seemed interesting. I don't really have too much to say about him. We have Ryan. This guy had a lot to say. He's a fire safety technician, calls himself an evil genius with an IQ of over 150. Okay. Also describes himself as a fat 40-year-old. Basically wants to go around and backstab everyone. I was like, okay, well, good for you. I mean, a lot of times, people say things about their game that don't end up being true. And if you're saying right off the bat, yeah, I'm going to be this mad supervillain, I know so much about the game, that usually doesn't end up being the case. But either way, if that is the case, I'm excited. If it's not the case, which I'm pretty confident it's not going to be, then, I'll probably just be another house guest. Next is Paris, which I know is a fan favorite right now. Law student, nerd, gamer, wants to win. My thought process on her is that because she's a gamer, she doesn't like losing. From what I know about gamers, I'm a gamer too, sort of. We don't like losing. So she just seems very confident she wants to win. That's her goal, is to win. And honestly, that's a smart play. She also seems very knowledgeable about the game. In fact, a lot of these cast members did, and I was very happy to see that. Okay, so they all get sent in the house. They do their introductions. It's the normal stuff. We have this heaven hell concept. So basically, upstairs represents heaven, and downstairs represents hell. And honestly, the house looks very nice. I think they did well representing those two spheres, with upstairs being a lot of white and downstairs being a lot of red. Anyway, so let's get into the game. So we have these these cups. I think there's a technical term for the cup, but I didn't write it down. So everyone had to take one. And it was basically Arissa being like, "Oh, everyone, just do a toast." And then she's like, "Whoa, hold up, Andrew, you have the special cup that has both a blue symbol and a red symbol on it. So you have to make this huge decision now. Go to the diary room." And I'm just sitting there like, okay, well, what's this twist gonna be? Because I'm always weary of day one twists, especially when it ends up, especially ones like this that it ends up being. By the way, one funny thing is that I think Maddie was the one that handed Andrew the cup, so it was just like they were just like eyeing each other, like, "You're the one that handed this to me," and Maddie was like, "How the hell was I supposed to know?" And everyone was like, "Should I have noticed? Should I have noticed the colors?" I don't think anyone did, and no one in the diary room said that they did. So that's usually a good sign, a good indicator that no one actually noticed. So Andrew has to go in and decide who's going to heaven and who's going to hell. If you're in heaven for the week, you're safe. If you're in hell, you're not safe. You're on slop. You don't get your belongings for 1 week, and you have to compete in the HOH competition. And one of the 7 of them will be the ones going home because the other 7 are safe. All right, so I'm just going to explain to you why I think this is a bad twist for the first week. and maybe you guys disagree with me. Maybe you guys think, oh, this really brings the hype. I think it's bad because well, first off, it puts a huge target on Andrew for no reason. There was no discernible reason uh, why it had to target why one person had to do this. It could have just been by random draw altogether. I mean, I know it's probably for the ratings, but I know I think he got a bad rap here. Second of all, not everyone gets to compete for safety. Really, the first week of the house is usually the one where you go around and you try to build relationships as quickly as you can, and basically those relationships is what starts up like the nominations. But this twist kind of prevents all that. It's like, okay, well, I have a limited limited amount of choices for who to put on the block. Since one person's HOH, there's 6 people to choose from, so 1/3 of those people are going on the block. So it just gets really complicated. So even if you click with all those people, then one of them has to go anyway. So I don't know. Let me know down below what you think of this twist. I think it would have been better if they didn't have it, personally. Also considering that they're going to be bringing 2 more people in, so they also don't have to experience this twist. So I don't know. That's just my take on it. You can agree or disagree. I'll respect your opinion, but make a good argument for me if you want to comment about it down below. So let's decide who goes to hell. So the 7 people rather that go to hell are Rosina, Will, Maddie, Alejandra, Paris, Kayla, and Johnny. All right, so it's 5 girls, 2 guys. One thing I did notice was that Andrew seemed to really click with what was his name? With Ryan, the fire safety guy. So he really made a point to make sure that he was safe. He also had the option to put himself in hell, which was interesting. He did not do it, obviously. I don't think anyone rationally would, unless they're trying to like build points with people. But there was that option, which he didn't take. It's I don't know. Then they had like this endurance competition where they're all standing. Basically, it looks like around hellfire. It's very hot in the room. They have to hold on with their hands. It's very similar to like the wall comp for Big Brother US. And the 7 of them are up. And a few of them talk. Like Paris, for instance, says she doesn't think she'll last too long because her hands get sweaty very easily, so she doesn't necessarily have a good grip on things. So let's just start with the people that drop. So Alejandra drops first. Maddie drops second. Rosina third. Kayla drops fourth. And then we have Will, Paris, and Johnny all up there. And Paris is basically like, hey, you want to start talking deals? And Will's like, yeah, okay, whatever. Who? And Johnny's just like, Johnny's like, not really. Like, he doesn't say it outright that he doesn't want to deal, but he's basically just like, I don't know what I want to do. And Paris is like, listen, do you want to give it to me? I'll give it to either one of you. Doesn't really matter to me. Like, I just want this competition to be over. And Johnny was not having any of it. Will said he would do whatever they wanted to do. It seemed like none of them wanted to make a conclusive decision on who to get the HOH. I thought that was very bizarre because Johnny was like, he was like, yeah, I don't know if I would want to give this up, or I don't know if I would want to take it. I don't want to make that decision, even though deep down he just didn't want to make a deal altogether, and that was an excuse. Will, similar thing. He's like, I'll do whatever you guys want. And Paris was like, hey, do either of you want this? Meaning, if Paris is asking them if they want it, that's basically her saying that she doesn't want it, right? So it didn't seem like any of it didn't seem like they really wanted HOH. Or at least two of them, because Johnny, I think deep down, did want it, but he didn't want to say it outright because he didn't trust. I don't know what the hell Johnny was thinking. Johnny could have just said, "I want the HOH drop." That's all he had to do, which leads me to think that there's a possibility that Johnny didn't take the deal because he wanted to leave his options for nominations open. Because there's already a limited pool of 6 people that he can put up. So he's probably thinking, okay, if I take this deal with Will and Paris, then I'm basically only have 4 people left to nominate. So in my humble opinion, he didn't take the deal because he wanted to keep his options open. He just met all these people. He doesn't really know them that well. Wants to leave it. Well, it makes sense to me. I personally like Paris, so I hope his goal is not to target her. If I had to guess who his target is, it's probably Will, because he did say in his opening, Johnny, that he did not like alpha guys. And Will doesn't seem like an alpha guy, but he is like a big guy. Does a lot of physical labor. I believe he was the one who had his kid at 19. Was that him? Yes, it was. He's also a flirt, so maybe he'll be flirting with someone, and Johnny will see that as a target. So I don't know. My humble opinion is that Johnny's going to be targeting Will this week, either Will or Rahita, because she not Rahita, Rosina, because she does talk a lot. And speaking of which, I do want to make a point that Rosina during the challenge, and also when she was in the house, she was very upfront. She was very upfront with people, very a very E personality rather than an I, like very extroverted, good at talking to people. Granny Peg says, "Good eve all. I'm sorry I just got here, but I have not invested or watched BBCAN. No worries." No worries at all. So yeah, I mean, it looks like Rosina might rub people the wrong way, because there's always that person that tends to talk a little too much and rubs people the wrong way. And you can tell that she did that because Andrew put her in hell and specifically said, "You're talking too much, so I'm putting you in hell." I don't know. Just saying. That's just my take on it. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I think she's actually rather popular on Jokers right now, Rosina. Let me double check that for you while I do this. Yeah, Rosina, she's 5th on Jokers right now, but not a lot of people vote on the Canada one anyway. Anyway, it is what it is. So the winner of the HOH ends up being Johnny. So Paris falls, Will falls, and then Paris falls, and Johnny wins HOH. Honestly, I'm excited for Johnny. I was not expecting that, because he was saying in his opening, like, yeah, I don't like alpha guys, and usually what you expect from an alpha guy is like being big and strong, good at challenges. So if he doesn't like alpha guys, that means that he's not an alpha guy. So I didn't know what to think about him in terms of physical challenges. But after seeing him in this challenge, I'm very impressed with him. And he even said in his diary room, "Listen, like, everyone's don't underestimate me. I'm strong and smart." And honestly, I'm getting good vibes from him. I think he'll make it decently far in the game. That's just my take on it. Okay, so yeah. So if you want my opinion, I think Johnny will target Will. That's it's his really only option to be consistent with what he said in his openings. This is based on only that. We have nothing else to really base it on at this point. I can see him potentially going after Rosina or Paris as well. Paris for being powerful in the challenge, which would be unfortunate, or Rosina for talking a lot. It could rub people in the house the wrong way, and they could demand Johnny to put her up. What I think is interesting, Betty Peg says, "I might have to find a way to watch, but I just read all the Twitter posts." Yeah, there should be a way to watch. If you have a VPN, you can watch it directly on the Big Brother Canada website. If you need any info on VPNs, you can PM me at Room Podcast for that. So let's talk about the 4 people that we're voting for here. So each of these individuals represent heaven and hell. So we're voting for 2. Okay, so there's 2 different votes. Each of these votes have 2 different people. One's an additional guy and one's an additional girl. That represent heaven and hell, respectively. So let's talk about I guess we'll call it the hell girl and the hell boy and the heaven guy and the heaven boy, because why not? All right, so the heaven girl, her name is Kirsten. She's a super fan. She's basically willing to throw anyone under the bus. Marilyn Roberts says, how does one who lives in USA get feeds? You need a VPN to do it. VPN makes it seem like you're viewing the browser in Canada. There are paid ones. I use a paid one personally. If you want more info, you can PM me at Room Podcast on my Twitter, and I'll let you know how that works. Okay. So yeah, Kirsten's willing to throw anyone under the bus. So yeah, she seemed pretty devilish. Then we have the heaven girl, Veronica. She wants to be friends with everyone. She has a tattoo on her arm that means peace, love, unity, respect. Definitely a representative of heaven and angels. Maybe I'll say Hell girl, angel girl. There we go. Hell girl and angel girl. There you go. Now let's go to our hell boy. By the way, I voted for the hell girl and the hell boy because I want a funner game, because those people usually make the game more fun. So that's who I voted for. Anyway, we have our hell boy. His name is Mikey. Basically, I'm willing to exploit anyone to get ahead in my life. I'll do whatever it takes to win, yada, yada, yada. I was like, okay, cool. Sounds good to me. And then we have Marin. He was a very humble guy, wants to play and have his family respect him back home. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's nice, He's our angel guy or angel boy, whatever you guys let me know down below. Angel guy, angel boy, whatever. Well, it's Hellboy, so I guess it should be Angel Boy. Okay, so Angel Boy Marin, Hellboy Mikey, Angel Girl Veronica, or Hell Girl Kirsten. I'm relatively excited for these 4, although I'm a little worried, though probably don't need to be, because we've seen them do this in Big Brother Canada many, many times before, where they just put someone in after a few days. But I'm worried that these 2 might have a hard time meshing well with the house guests when they get in. So I don't know. I'm worried about it. Let me know if you guys are worried about it down below as well. And I'm also worried that what if they reveal to the house guest that, hey, this is what the twist was. We were voting between good people and bad people, essentially. Oh, and by the way, you got the bad people. And then they just know right off the bat. Those folks that are extraordinary, not the norm, are the ones that make a game popular for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to tell what's just to get on the show. What they're saying is just to get on the show, or what they're saying is, yeah, this is me full through. It's always hard to figure that out. But if it is true, it would certainly be more fun to have the people representing hell get on the show rather than the people representing heaven. That's just my personal opinion. Again, it's Canada voting for this mostly, and if you have a VPN, I guess you could vote on that too, like I did. Okay, so I guess we'll call it there. I want to thank you guys for watching this Big Brother Canada 6 premiere. If you liked this video, please give us a like down below. Also, please subscribe to our channel. I don't know if you guys know this, but recently YouTube changed its policy for monetization. So now you need 1,000 subscribers to be monetized. So please help. So we're no longer monetized on YouTube. So if you want to help us out, please help us get monetized. Okay. Other than that, I want to say, if you support our channel, to support our channel in other ways, please visit our Patreon down below. If you donate $3 or more a month, we will personally shout out your name at the end of every single video. And I will start with the shout outs right now. So I want to say big shout out and thank you to Patty, Peggy, and Peter. I want to thank you three for supporting our channel, and thank you for everything you do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching us, always being on the chat, and honestly, it's a huge help. It's a huge help for all three of us, and it really does mean a lot. And again, if you want to support us on Patreon, the link is down below. I want to thank you guys for watching. I don't think I can watch Big Brother Canada 6 live tomorrow, but I will likely do. I'll do a video on the next episode as soon as I'm able to do so. Okay. So thank you, and until next time, peace. And I will be covering Survivor in about 30 minutes. So I'll see you guys in 30 minutes.